UFC NOCHE just took place. I'm going to be breaking down the entire card, and what was looking like to be a pig slop card was a pig slop card. This is one of the worst events of 2025, and I just want to run through it. I know there was a few fun fights. I think the Hoffa Garcia Jared Gordon fight, they went out there and actually fought. The Kelvin Gastelum Dustin Stolfus, that's probably fight of the night right there. Apart from that, Diego Lopez Gene Silva, what a weird fight. Diego Lopez ended up fluking a KO over Gene Silva in an early stoppage from Mike Beltran, which he might be one of the worst referees in the game. The prelims, there was nothing memorable that happened. Sorry to give you a little bit of an aneurysm, but I'm going to go through it and break it down real quick. Diego Lopez versus John Silva. So John Silva looked untouchable on the feet, was absolutely having his way with Diego Lopez. He got an early takedown because John Silva got overzealous and spun into him, gave him his ass, and Diego Lopez took it, slammed him, got on to mount very quickly, and landed devastating elbows on Gene Silva. But he survived, obviously showing that he was completely fine there. He was comfortable. Not comfortable. He's obviously getting his head pounded in. There was knots all on top of Gene Silva's head. He ends up standing back up towards the end of it, landing a very nice front kick. Like I said, on the feet, Gene Silva looked absolutely in control of this fight and looked completely dominant over Diego Lopez. Unfortunately, round 2 rolls around, and Gene Silva is doing his thing, landing huge shots on Diego Lopez. And Diego Lopez flukes a random spinning elbow KO that barely clips Gene Silva, landing perfectly, and then falls to the ground while Gene Silva is fighting back up, regathering himself. Mike Beltran, that slob himself, went and stopped the fight, early stoppage. So Diego hits the 1 out of 15 times that he's going to win. What does this mean for the UFC? Well, it means this is, I'm actually a Diego Lopez fan, but this is horrible. I mean, let's just call a spade a spade. We have a guy, in Volkanovski, who's the champ right now, and Movsar Evlev, who's the next up and coming contender, and Lerone Murphy, who I think all three of them beat this. So this was a completely wasted guy, and Gene Silva, completely wasted potential. Like I said, wins this fight. If you run it back in a simulator 20 times, I think Gene Silva probably wins 18 of those 20 times. It was just very clear that Gene Silva was outclassing Diego Lopez, and they were not on the same level. But Diego Lopez flukes it. So congrats to Diego Lopez. He is a very fun, eccentric fighter inside the cage. He is developing his English, so I guess that's something. But yeah, I guess the fighting nerds really are falling off. I don't know what to say. No, you're going to get a really nice buy low spot on Gene Silva and the rest of the nerds, so definitely take it. Man, what a fucking disgusting main event result. What a piss poor. Congrats, Diego Lopez. Rob Font, David Martinez. This kid is fast as fuck, man. He is very fast. He's got super snappy kicks, fast hands. He's actually going to be a real problem. I don't ever see anybody going out there and outstriking Rob Font. So the fact that David Martinez is able to go out there and just be a puzzle for Rob Font, I get it was on short notice, so I don't know what would have been the difference if it wasn't, but that speed looks like, I don't know who the hell is going to be able to deal with that. So look to show decent takedown defense as well. So I'm definitely very excited about this win with David Martinez, adding a new prospect into the division, into the Bantamweight one. So I was really satisfied with this fight. David Martinez looked really good. By the way, I think this was a record level of how bad I did on picks this week. So, Jared Gordon versus Hoffa Garcia's great fight. Hoffa Garcia just looked to have the better chin in the matchup, and that's about the end of the story. They look to be about the same level of fighter everywhere, except Hoffa Garcia just could take punishment a little bit better. Jared Gordon came in with a knee brace on. So, I wasn't expecting, he came in looking like an old man and definitely looked like it in the octagon as well. So they did put on a fun fight. Congratulations. Now let's go to the blob slob, Kelvin Gastelum. He went out there. I mean, look at that body shape. We need to cut Kelvin Gastelum. I hope he never fights another fight in the UFC. He is disgraceful. Missed weight again. I don't even know how you come in. I don't even know how you develop a body type looking like this. What an absolute disgrace to the sport. Disgusting human being. Cut him from the UFC immediately. I actually think it was a robbery. I think Dustin Stolfus actually, I don't know why he went away from the body kicks and the leg kicks. He would have won the fight for sure. I thought he won round 1. First off, there was a huge thing on this too. Judges' scorecards were fucking miserable. There was one judge specifically all night that was just giving, like, very lazily, falling asleep, waking up at some points in the night and just giving a 30-27. Who's winning this one? That doesn't matter. We'll just give it to him. That's kind of how I expect this boxing fight to go. But yeah, anyway, so Kelvin Gastelum gets it done. Please cut Kelvin Gastelum. I am begging you, Dana White. Next up, Alexander Hernandez. This was one of the only picks I got right that were actually, like, okay, nice pick. He went out there and beat an old looking Diego Ferreira. I knew this was kind of going to be the case. Alexander Hernandez movement. Diego Ferreira's never been a guy that cuts off the cage very well. He's kind of your old school, sprawl and brawl type of guy. I don't know. That's kind of how he feels to me in a way. But yeah, Alexander Hernandez shows good movement. Diego Ferreira can never really just find his mark. Can't really cut off the cage from Alexander Hernandez, who moves around very well. Fuck, I'm going to throw up. Okay, Alexander Hernandez gets it done by KO. Who would have saw that coming? Me. All right, next up. Santiago Luna gets it done very quickly against Kwang Lee. I mean, I don't know what else to say. You don't bet on these guys. And we have a young, very well genetically made guy. It sounded very gay, but you know what I'm saying. He just looks like he's going to get it done. So he got it done. Jose Medina. This was the one fight, and I picked Dusko Todorovic by submission, and it saved my ass on the parlays tonight because Tennessee got the kicker, blew it tonight, and Gene Silva blew it by doing the stupidest shit ever and not going in there and just taking his time, man. Fuck my life, dude. But luckily, Dusko Todorovic and Tatiana Suarez winning by decision, calling those two fights right, parlaying them together gets me my money and a little bit more. So luckily, we did okay. Dusko Todorovic cut Jose Medina. Yeah, I don't know why the fuck he's still in the UFC. Cuatro Pelos versus Joaquim Silva. Super close fight. It was the only interesting fight I'd say on the prelims, which wasn't even that interesting. Cuatro Pelos went out there, double-legged the shit out of him. I don't really feel like breaking this down. Tatiana Suarez, I don't really feel like breaking this down. Tatiana held her up against the fence. Congrats. Cut her from the UFC. Jesus Aguilar versus Luis Guerrilla, really close fight. I guess we score nowadays just punching the air. Jesus did a lot of punching the air and landing a few shots here and there, shooting takedowns, not getting them. I guess he wins the fight by volume. I don't know. He did rock Luis in the third round, which is what it seemed like it came down to. But again, another judge had it 30-27 for Jesus. So I'm just absolutely fed up. Zachary Reese goes out there and nut shot Cedricus Dumas. Let's hope that it did ruin his kids and he can't have kids anymore at this point because you know why. It's Cedricus Dumas. So congratulations, Zachary Reese, on your round 1 KO. Alessandro Costa versus Alden Correa. Alden Correa went out there and just showed levels, man. Alessandro Costa's just a little weird midget, and he's going to be nothing in the UFC. Alden Correa looked pretty damn good. He looked aggressive, looked like he was actually trying to finish the fights at times. Alessandro broke his toe or something. I don't know. Elise Pereira, yeah, that was an annoying fight to watch. The second I saw this fight, I knew this card was going to be shit. Montserrat gets it done. She ends up, Elise Pereira's running away the entire fight. Finally, Montserrat realizes, okay, if I just chase this girl and push her, she's going to trip. And she does that, and the whole tide of the fight turned, I don't fucking know. Rodrigo Cenzonado, Daniil Donchenko was actually pretty good. Daniil looked to have the way better striking. Rodrigo just kept trying to push a pace, and is just not good at fighting. So Daniil Donchenko gets it done. Anyways, guys, yeah, this was terrible for the UFC. This card, I'm going to make another video of the huge conflict of interest that's going on right now in the UFC and why Dana White needs to be fired. But yeah, I'm gonna drop that video tomorrow, so definitely stay tuned. This was a horrible result to this fight. I'm not going to lie. I do like Diego Lopes. I am a Diego Lopes fan, but this is terrible for the UFC. Anyways, guys, congrats, you fucking freak.